What's up, dudes? Welcome back for another fucking episode live from the fucking lair. All right, guys. I just found out about this dude, Orion Taraban. As you can see on the fucking thumbnail, his brain is exploding from being exposed to my fucking to my light. I guess he's like this psychiatrist. This I think his name is Dr. Orion Taraban, and he's kind of like Myron from Fresh and Fit, but he's got a doctorate and he basically says the same shit. I think he's an evolutionary psychologist. I don't fucking know that for a fucking fact, but I'm gonna be going into some clips I made of him, and we'll check that dude out, man. Actually, yesterday, yesterday I showed you guys. I found out about him. I want to say it was like 2 days ago or yesterday. But today I was really deep diving on him and trying to see what his content is like. And I mean, he's like the. I'm not trying to talk shit about the guy. All right, I'm sure he's a fucking cool dude or whatever, but he's like the epitome of masturbation. Like you'll see right now when I show you this first video of his when he talks about pickup, where he's gonna be like he's gonna intellectualize the thought of doing pickup. I was watching him talk about pickup and I was like, this guy has never done a fucking cold approach in his life, but he seems to have a lot of fucking opinions about it. So I wanted to go into what he's saying, you know. Two of you are here. I'm glad. I gotta be honest, dudes. I don't know how many more of these I'm gonna be doing. I mean, I want to do one, every day. They're fun or whatever. But when I was finishing my stream fucking yesterday, and I was looking at I remember we were going over I was reacting to the pickup between Owen and that girl, that French girl, that au pair girl. And then I was telling you guys, I was like, imagine being in this interaction right now, trying to feel good and locked in and feel locked in. And you're trying to think of a routine, or you're trying to think of the next line, or you're just trying to think of anything in general, like how much of a waste that would be, you know? And then as I said that, and then right when I got off the stream too, I was like, man, it's tough to do these streams because I really don't. I'm probably gonna stop just watching pickup stuff altogether, man. I was noticing today while I was going through I mean, I had been watching them for fun, just for the fun arguments, but I was trying to watch some today when I was going over this Orion Taraban guy, and I was having a lot of difficulty, like keeping my attention on it. I mean, I can't do it for you guys if I have stuff that I'm reacting to for you guys, but it's very hard for me to keep my brain engaged in this material because I'm so past it, you know? I've seen what it is. I've gotten from it what I was gonna get, which all I got from it is like what not to do and what's wrong with it. And then once I figured out, like once I really got the sense of like, this is a waste of this is a there's better investment of my energy in other things. It's really difficult for me to stay engaged. I'll probably still come on here and there, especially once I start traveling again. But coming on every day is going to be difficult because it's hard for me to continue watching material. I guess I could react to the stuff in the pickup vault and go over the videos and keep pointing out what stuff is wrong. But I mean, there's nothing really new under the sun here, guys. I'm going to keep giving basically the same advice over and over. I think if you would just watch the stuff all the live streams I have up now, if you watch the master class, I have a little bit of a longer maybe stream this time. Maybe I'll go for like, I don't know. I don't think I'll go more than 2 hours, but I'm thinking about maybe I'll have another stream where I go over all my old posts and I talk you guys through like how I'm having difficulties in getting more out of being in a pickup frame. Like all those fucking posts I wrote when I was in Europe. And I believe I started writing them all in Europe. I don't think I wrote any while I was in Argentina. I don't think so. No. So it's just like everything that was going on with me during that time. I think that would be of use to you guys and anybody else in the future that discovers my content. And then it also was interesting when yesterday, I believe it was Bill that put me on to that guy Lucario, which I'm not gonna watch Lucario's content or anything, but after I got off the stream, I was like, yeah, let me try to watch a little bit of this shit. And I actually I was reading the comments and I was looking at how everybody was roasting Marcus Wolf in the comments, being like he got destroyed, he took an L, and I was like, okay, that's good. That was reassuring to me that I saw that everybody saw through Marcus Wolf's fucking pickup nonsense. And I was as I was looking through it, there were a bunch of other people Lucario was debating, and then other people that Lucario debated that they were debating. And I was like, oh, it looks like there's already a niche of dudes like me out there. I didn't know there were. Again, I would have to listen to more of Lucario and everybody else, but I feel like there's a good amount of content already out there that you guys can be sifting through. I think whatever few of you have come in here, you are the few that have been. I've done what I can for you guys. And I think that at this point, it's just going to be redundant. I think you've got it. I can keep reacting to shit. It's going to be the same shit over and over. I think this channel is really only going to be interesting once I actually start. If I even do it, I'm still not even sure I'm going to do it because I feel kind of sleazy recording girls undercover through a fucking button camera. The reason I got in the button camera in the first place was to do 4K walkthroughs. I don't know if you guys have seen those, where people do 4K walkthroughs through like downtown Rio or through New York City or through London or some shit. And it's somebody just walking through downtown, and you get to sort of walk through downtown through the perspective of the person. But the person that's walking through downtown is holding a fucking camera, holding their phone. So I was like, I don't want to be that person walking around fucking like a retard like that. So I got the button camera so I could do those 4K walkthroughs when I'm walking through downtown, and I got it for that. And then after I'd gotten it for that, I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll start doing some approaches with it. Maybe I'll do one or two. I don't know, but yeah, I also don't like that I'm gonna be recording my fucking pickups undercover when I'm meeting somebody. It feels kind of sleazy. And this isn't my job. I have an actual job, okay, where I actually help people go through transformations and facilitate them doing introspection, and it's just healthy and it's younger people. I'm a youth mentor, so it's like it's young people getting in touch with who they are and their insecurities or just what they want out of life or whatever, and it doesn't require me to undercover record people. And you get what I'm saying. I get to just work with people one-on-one. That's what I actually like better. I just like one-on-one stuff. So I don't know, guys. Most of today, especially while I was going over this Orion guy's stuff, the channel might be winding down. I'm not sure. I might still start. I might still put out packaged videos so you guys can check those out. I actually had thought of a different one I might make today, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know, dudes. It's tough. You guys will see. You guys will see once you break out of this pickup paradigm that you might be in, how just like it just feels like a waste of your time to be watching this kind of shit at all, unless it's to help somebody else. Again, I don't mind talking about it with you guys. I do have it, it will always hold a special place in my heart, but it's just getting difficult to stay engaged. It's getting very difficult. The only thing that's going to engage me now is actually talking with girls and having fun and helping people look at their insecurities. And I mean, maybe I'll make the channel about that. But as far as just talking about pickup in itself, I don't know, guys. It's difficult, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get a second surge of motivation, and I'll be coming back on here. If I do, I'll tell you this. If I do, I'll definitely make sure to come on here and drop you guys a vid. By the way, I don't know if I've ever told you guys all this stuff I got back here. These fucking 3 skateboards I got right here were such a fucking pain in the ass to fucking get. If you guys know how difficult it was to get these fucking skateboards, you would be tripping out on like how fucking badass. Just this grip tape alone right here. This grip tape right here. This one with the fucking faces coming out. That was like a fucking $150 grip tape. This grip tape over here, I fucking challenge you to find this fucking grip tape. This deck right here with This was actually a blank deck, and I fought a wizard and trapped him inside the deck, so you won't find that anywhere. But these fucking decks right here are fucking badass. I gotta give them a fucking shout out. The fucking dragon mirror up there is fucking badass. The green dragon is the dragon of transformation. I believe the red dragon is the luck dragon. I forget what the blue dragon means and all the different colored dragons. But the green dragon is the dragon that I always fucking see. It's my spirit animal. I'll see it literally. I'll sometimes be fucking laying in bed and staring up at the ceiling, and I'll just see like the side, the green scales of this massive thing fucking moving around like that. And it took me a while to. The first time I saw it was when I was on acid, and it took me a while to realize it's a dragon, and it's this motherfucker, fucking up here. Sorry, because like it's like the opposite. On like I'm going like this, but it's going like this because you know how it is when it gets mirrored when you're doing a fucking stream. Okay, anyway, let's check out this dude Orion Taraban and see what he's got to say. Here goes homeboy right here. Okay, as I was saying, I believe he's a doctor. I believe he's either a psychiatrist or an evolutionary psychologist, or he's something in psychology. And his channel, I believe, is called Sci Hacks. This video in particular is how to meet women or how to date women. I think it's how to meet women. And it's on another doctor's channel called Dr. Swole. So check it out if you want to see the whole interview. I believe it's a 2-hour podcast. I listened to the whole fucking thing today for you guys. I didn't really want to listen to it, but I was like, let me see what good stuff I can get from it, because I was checking out Orion shit throughout the day. I've been checking it out for like the last few days, but today I decided to go really deep on it and just really try to find stuff where he really talks about his philosophy on women. And I was able to find this podcast. And in this podcast, I think I found like 5.5 minutes of reactable shit. So we'll go over it now. But if you're interested in listening to the guy, as I said, he's like a Myron from Fresh and Fit, but with a scientific, academic perspective. So he's not out there just like trying to shit on women the whole time like Myron does. By the way, I don't know how many of you guys caught the Fresh and Fit podcast last night. That shit was a fucking dumpster fire. That shit was an absolute fucking dumpster fire. Fresh and Fit, I believe, I know that they're just gonna keep doing them to fucking milk that cash cow, but that podcast has hit its limit, dudes. Like, they're only gonna get so far with the way they run that podcast, and it's always crazy too to see all the people in the comments, like the comments they leave, is just shitting on women the whole time. It's just like the women come on, then Myron has his fucking basic same arguments that he has, that men need to be in the higher position, the girl needs to be chasing the man, that women live life on easy mode, that women are too emotional and they can't comprehend basic facts without getting overly emotional, that high value guys aren't going to want lower value women and just want to be with one woman, because beautiful women are common and high value men are not. So by that rationale, the higher value men are more scarce and they're in the higher position. They're the prize in the relationship. It's like the same fucking arguments that he has, you know, which I disagree with basically. See, I don't disagree with his premises themselves. It's the way he is framing them, you know, which he would probably come back at me with, the truth is the truth. It doesn't matter how I say it. The truth is the truth. Well, yes, I agree. The truth is the truth, but context is king. Okay. So he says these things from this context where he's angry that he had to work to earn his. He is basically like the king of insecurity. So he's coming from a very insecure, weak position where he's not enough. And because he's not enough, he had to go and earn a bunch of money and build this humongous platform on YouTube and become YouTube famous and become a millionaire and blah, blah, blah. And now that he's done that, he cannot be denied women access to women, because this insecurity that he has, where he just can't be himself and attract chicks that way, has now been massively covered up by all the success that he has had. The funny thing is that he could be equally as successful, but not insecure, and it would actually enhance like whatever money he has. It's true, guys. It's true what people say that money doesn't make you happy. It just makes you more of what you already are. So his insecurity is just getting fucking exploded now with all the money that he has. He can now, he's always says shit too. Like we earn, he says shit where like high value guys earn money so they could tell women to shut the fuck up. It's like, no, I can tell women to shut the fuck up right now. You guys can too. We just have to have fucking boundaries. That's it. If some chick, more than anything, we just have to know what the fuck we want. We have to know what the fuck the relationship is even about. What is happening when there's an interaction going on between a man and a woman? When people don't know what is going on, when a man and a woman are interacting, they look externally and they look for external. They look for valid for those people that don't know what the fuck is going on when a man and a woman are communicating. They think that all we're doing is validating each other. They think it's just a validation game. So it's like I need to extract validation from you, and when you give me your validation to get validation from me, and then I withhold my validation. I first of all I put myself in the higher position, in the high value position, which is what Myron has done. Right? He has become a millionaire. He has a platform. He's YouTube famous. Blah 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 blah. He has put himself in a higher position social economically. So he has the power position with these younger chicks. This is why also he wants younger girls as well, girls that are 18, 19, 20, 21, because they haven't had a chance to build themselves up yet. So I mean, they have beauty and they have genetics, but they don't really have any social economic status. They're just hot bitches. So he has put himself above them on that level. And he, of course, also puts into their brain that their beauty is a depreciating asset. So he makes them insecure now, which is another classic thing that insecure guys do is they project their insecurity onto other people and then make them feel insecure so they don't have to feel insecure. And then they put themselves in a higher position. It's very psychopathic. You know what I mean? Psychopaths do this shit where they prey on people's insecurities. Maybe that's a sociopath. I think a psychopath isn't even aware that they're doing it, and a sociopath is more precise. So Myron is very sociopathic in this sense that he is manipulating people's insecurities by meeting them at that insecurity. Like he's also insecure, just like them. So he has become like, I believe I've told you guys this before, the difference between a superhero and a, his arch nemesis, the villain. The villain as so here's the thing with the superhero. The superhero, if you ever watch Man of Steel, it does a good job of portraying this. The superhero is born with natural powers. Those natural powers are metaphoric, are analogous to you're born with your natural abilities, your natural talents, whatever your natural powers are. You're like the superhero, okay? So you're born with them. The superhero has to go through this arc where he becomes one with his powers and he doesn't really know how to use them. He doesn't want the responsibility. He wants to just be like everybody else. He goes through the Batman does the same. Batman has like another classic superhero arc as well, where they have these powers and they don't want to use them because it's a humongous responsibility that they have to take on to protect, the weak and blah, 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 blah. But their powers are natural. And their whole arc is about becoming one with their powers and using it to connect with humanity and be one with humanity through their powers. The supervillain, however, they have no powers. They have no powers, or maybe they have like a power here or there, but society has shunned them. So both of them get shunned at one point, the superhero and the supervillain. The superhero, however, decides to actualize with his powers and then connect with humanity that way. The supervillain either has no powers or has some power, but when he gets shit on by society or not accepted by society, he doesn't even really get shit on by society, but when he doesn't get accepted by society and he has to go through this whole process of developing his power as a supervillain, he's angry about it. He's angry that he had to do that for society to accept him. That society didn't accept him from the beginning. Honestly, if the supervillain would have been accepted from the beginning, they never would have had to develop these powers to destroy society, you know? So as you can see, the superhero becomes one with his powers and connects to society with it. He never hates society. He just understands that the reason that society wouldn't accept him is because he wouldn't accept himself. The supervillain, however, society doesn't accept him either because he doesn't accept himself and he's all weird and like awkward. So then he builds his superpower up to spite society and destroy them. Okay. So Myron is essentially that supervillain. Okay. And he has become so angry that he had to do all this work to get to the point where he's at, that he is now angry at these women that he had to do all that. So his whole show is based around, it's Fugazi though. Like before I go into this point, before I go into that point, it's Fugazi though. He didn't have to do that. He was already lovable how he is. However, he never just loved himself. So instead of, so now because he's coming from this insecure place, he now has to come after women and come after society and get his money and do all this crazy fucking shit and say this wild crazy shit and lack absolute empathy when he's on his podcast, because for him I would assume that showing empathy is weakness, and it would, for beyond anything, it's weakness in the sense that he would have to admit that all that work that he put in was for naught. It was all fucking pointless. He came from the wrong perspective. He would have to admit that he's wrong, essentially, and that he's been wrong for a fucking hot minute, okay? And if you watch his show, you know that he hates admitting that he's wrong. There was actually a chick, I forgot, it was a few shows ago, or like I was watching a clip of his or something, where the chick actually made a better point than Myron. Actually, Myron had the better point, but the chick won the argument because Myron's arguments were not getting to her. What's up, Bill? Was not, we're not getting to her, and it was pissing Myron off. And then he brings on dudes that are like him, that had to like earn all this value and do all these things to earn their value, and they're caught in the same fucking negative pattern, supervillain pattern, where they're not enough and men are not enough as is. They have to build their value, that bullshit, before women will like them, when it's absolute fucking nonsense. If it all takes is dropping game and not wanting her, it's because those guys are in. It's because guys are insecure. So when a guy is insecure, and by the way, I'm telling you this as the most insecure guy of them all before, you know, I had to figure out that I was actually the problem and the game was a band-aid that I was using. But it's because the guys are insecure. So guys can't drop game because they're insecure. So they would have to first go in and acknowledge to themselves that they're insecure and that they're projecting their insecurities onto other people, and that they're scared, and that you know, be able to let go of girls when they don't like them, because girls, as I've said before, girls are gonna fucking poke at your frame and try to see if they can knock you down. You know, I've actually never learned the October Man sequence. I've heard about it before. I think I might have read it once in the past, but I don't think I've ever really used it. But I mean, I'm sure, bro, anything could work if you're saying it from a secure place. And then once you're at a secure place, routines and shit feel so fucking silly to use unless you're doing them for like fun or something. But it's just so useless. It's just so unnecessary, bro. Why don't all women get attracted and chase to every guy who doesn't know game and doesn't like them, thus isn't seeking validation? Some girls are just not gonna like you, Bill, by the way, you know? Like some girls are just not gonna like you. You could have everything on point and they're just not gonna like you. So it's important that you also just go for the girls that are your match. And some of them would be really hot, you know? I mean, it's important just to put yourself where the single women are, and they're out to have fun and be social, and then interact with them and set the frame correctly, which all you have to do to set the frame correctly is what I always say, you know, just feel good and allow yourself to feel good and feel good with them. And that's all that it is, just set the frame immediately. Have no fucking fear of stepping into her space either, because that's what you want to do anyway. You want to have empathy as well. That's a big thing that guys leave out. Where like, well, if I could just do whatever I wanted, I was just being completely honest. Well, then I'm just gonna walk up to the girl and be like, I want to fuck you. And it's like, no, well, now you're lacking empathy. You still need to have basic human social intelligence and care about another human being and the experience that you're creating for them, like the way that you're acting creates for them. Like it's basic stuff. Like you're not gonna tell your mom what you think by being absolute asshole. You're gonna be considerate of what your mom is feeling, and that the way that you deliver what you say to her is gonna affect her a certain way. So you're gonna talk to her a certain way, but you can still be honest with her. You can still tell your boss what it is and be respectful. But yeah, man, it's some of them are just not gonna like you. And I would say, I think the stat is something like 80% of men are unattractive to women, and only 20% of men are attractive to women. However, that 20% that is attractive to women is different for every woman. So while 80%, it doesn't mean that 80% of all men are unattractive to all women. It's just in women's minds, out of the 100% of men that they see, 80% of them are going to be unattractive. So you just have to find a girl that you guys are a match. And the more girls you put yourself around, the more it's natural. The more likely you're going to meet, hotter and hotter girls if you're in venues where there are hot girls. And girls are attracted to your frame and your vibe. So if with guys they rated as below. The stat claiming that was about dating app photos, and it also found women still matched with guys they rated as below average. Well, there you have it, man. If that's what it is, but I still think that's a good stat to use mm, as a good barometer of just like how, or a good measure of how women look at men. I would agree with the stat just in general. I think when it comes to just the way you look, I think you're only going to be attractive to 20% of women, I guess. Or women are only attracted to like 20% of the men that they see, just from looking at him. Now, when your personality comes into play, when you add context, I would assume you could, hike that up. But I'm just saying it to say, whether even if I'm completely off with my numbers, I'm just saying to say that it is a numbers game. You do have to talk to, you have to talk to many women. So yeah, man, you just got to talk to as many women as you can. But of course, put yourself in a situation where the women that you want to talk with are. And then when they see you talking with other women, and I can't tell you guys how many times it's happened to me where I go in somewhere, I'm having fun. I talk to one girl, and then after I talk to that one girl, the other girls open up to me, and it's much easier. And the first girl might be really receptive. She might not. The first girl might reject me, but it helps the other girls to see that I'm a chill guy, I'm social. If the girl rejects me and I'm not affected by it, I'm sure that has a positive effect on it as well. It's just you just got to put yourself where those girls you want are, man. And it's not really that hard to get in there either. It's, go to a bar, go to a dance club, or go to a good day game spot where there are a lot of people walking around, and it's on a Sunday or a Saturday, or during the middle of the day when people are out. It's really not that hard. I would say if you're in a bad town, then to go to the town where the girls are. But as long as you're in a good city and you're putting yourself where the people are, you're gonna meet people, right? Bros, I don't know if I ever told you that story when I went to the European Parliament. The ex vice president of the European Parliament, and I got a pass, and she paid. She was like my sugar mama for a little bit. The ex vice president of the fucking European Parliament became my sugar mama for a little bit. And you know how I met her? I met her just going out and skateboarding, and she saw me skateboarding. I was skateboarding in front of this hotel, this hotel where politicians stay. I didn't even know that politicians stay there, but it was a hotel across the street from some ministry in Spain, in Madrid. And then, as the story goes, from what she told me, the ex vice president was arguing with her daughter because the ex vice president has access to resources, and then they were arguing about how the mom always gives the daughter everything, and the daughter's never happy. And then the daughter was like, they were arguing on the balcony, and then the daughter was like, "Well, get me him," because she saw me skating with no shirt, and I was, like I think I was trying to like do a backside 180 off a 3 block, and I don't know, I guess I just looked a certain way, and then the mom came down and started hitting me up, and then she pulled me back to the room, and then I met the daughter, I met the mom, and then the mom ended up flying me out to Hungary because that's where she was from, and then she ended up flying me out to Brussels because that's where the European Parliament is. I think that's where one of them is, and then I ended up going to Brussels for free. I was in a music video. I fucking went into the parliament and was there during like the Holocaust Day celebration. You need a pass. You need to be part. I took a picture with the European Parliament president. Like that kind of shit happens to me just because I'm out where the people are. Like you'll be surprised the shit you get into just being yourself. And at no point was I needy. At no point was I needy about it. I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm down. And she was actually asking me to come out. She's the fucking ex vice president of the fucking European Parliament asking me to come out, and like she wasn't begging me, but she was insisting that I come out. And she had her driver pick me up at the airport, and in Vienna, it was just like this crazy fucking shit it was when I had run out of money too, and I didn't know how I was gonna get more money. Now I still had another semester of school, and then I meet this lady, and she starts giving me money. She must have sent me like €1,000 over that next month or something, maybe even more. I don't know. It's insane, bro. It's insane. I spent New Year's in Budapest in 2024, 23 to 24. No, we were not dating. She just liked me because she just liked my energy. And then the daughter already had a boyfriend, and the daughter was just like, "Go get him." And she just because the argument they were having. And then I went in there, and I used to drink back then too. And then we ended up getting like drinking and getting drunk. She got me weed in Hungary. I met some pro boxer or like the brother of a pro boxer, a Hungarian boxer. I remember when I went to Argentina, I met two pro boxers from Argentina that were flying back from the USA, and they just happened to sit next to me in the airplane. And just because I was friendly with them and social, I think after like 20, 30 minutes of speaking with them, they were like, "We're pro boxers. We just finished a pro boxing match." And then I ended up meeting those dudes. And when I got to Argentina, I already had two friends that were pro boxers. It was just like the shit that'll happen to you, dudes, when you're just out, when you're just out. And it's the same with chicks. My point, it's the same with fucking chicks. So to answer your question, man, yeah, like the girls are just gonna like you, man. If you are in the validation loop when you care what she thinks about you, how are you not in the loop if you're altering what and how you say things to her out of empathy for how she will react? Well, yeah, that's a good question, but you're overthinking it, man. It's like I think you're really caught up in like needing a technique or something. It's just you don't want to be mean to somebody because you don't want to hurt their feelings, man. Like that's all that it is. I understand her experience. I understand that from the female's experience, to just to be yourself, man. Just what it is to be in a good mood. That's the best method. To just be to be turned on by her and allow yourself to be turned on by her and use that energy to go into the interaction. That's the best method. To be turned on. That puts you into state when you're turned on and you're talking to the girl from a turned on place. But just to finish saying what I was saying to Bill. So Bill, man, and by the way, Bill, I hope I'm not coming at you like all crazy, man. I respect you and everything, okay? But I'm just coming out at your what you're saying. So the reason I don't just walk up to her girl, I'm like, I want to fuck you, bitch, is because I know from her perspective, I have empathy for her. And when you get around girls a lot too, man, you'll start to feel what they're feeling, and you won't want to like hurt them. And it's like from their perspective, they're used to being looked at as sexual objects. No, I'm not saying that they might not even like that, but they don't like just being seen as just a fucking object. Really, that's the whole point of what feminism even is. Because I told you guys, I basically got a BA in fucking feminism unofficially. Feminism started because women used to just be looked at as bodies, and then women basically started rallying together, and they're like, no, we also have a voice. We're more than just our bodies. We're also human beings, okay? And that's what feminism is basically founded on, is that women are more than just their bodies. They're not just incubating bodies that grow our babies inside them and have them. They're more than that. They're human beings. They have brains. They what they say matters and has value beyond just them being a vagina, tits, and ass. So because of that, because girls don't like always being treated as just like a piece of ass. When you walk up to them and you're like, hey, bitch, I want to fuck you. It's not that they can't handle it. It's not even that it really hurts them really all that much, but it's more that they just know that you don't understand what it's like to be a woman and you have no understanding of their reality and how fucking insulting that is to them. It would be the equivalent to us if women just looked at us like a wallet and they were just and a girl just walked up to us and she was like, "How much money you make a year? How much money you got in your bank account?" And she walked up to you and she said that. That would be I would just be like, "Get away from me." You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to. What kind of car do you drive? And that's all she was telling me. She's objectifying me now. She's turning me into a wallet. Well, it might not hurt me. I'm not gonna want to talk with her because I'm gonna know that she's an idiot and a retard, and she doesn't understand how insulting that is to talk to me like that. So on the flip side, when I do that to a woman, it's the same thing. So that's why you don't do it. And it's out of empathy, like I said, because you don't want to like demean them like that. Just like I don't want to be demeaned by her. So you show yourself in this in if you behave in a way because you psychologically feel you need them to feel good. I would say you show yourself in a validation loop if you're using it to cover insecurity. I'm not saying it's bad to need. I need them to feel good. I need. I if I'm with a chick and she turns me on, only women can do that to me. I cannot get turned on by myself the way that a woman can. There's no guy. I'm not gay. Like there's no guy that can turn me on like that. There's no family member that could turn me on like that. Even if I watch like a video with a hot chick in it, it's not the same. Like if I have a hot chick standing in front of me and I like her, I'm into her energy, I can feel her, she's breathing on my neck and shit. Like there's nothing, there's nothing like that, dudes. There's nothing like after you've banged a really hot chick and you're just laying in bed and you just feel like incredible. You know what I mean? You guys are just cuddling and you just feel amazing that you just got her and you guys just had that experience. So it's not bad that I need them to feel good. I do need them to feel good. It's a validation loop if I need pickup or any kind of anything in order to be able to just be myself. Like I can't just be myself. Like I can't just walk up to her and talk and then just like have nothing in my head and not having to like strategize, not having to think like how can I get sex from her? How can I get what I want from her? How can I get something from her that I need so I can feel good about myself? Like if that's in my head at all, that's when I'm in a validation loop because I can't just feel good without her. She adds to it. She adds to it. She makes me feel good. She enhances how I'm feeling, but I do not need her to feel secure. I don't go up there like with an empty cup, and asking her to fill my cup. It's but I understand, man. It's tricky, It's tricky. It's very, and then all of society is telling you too all the time, like you need to be fucking chasing that bag and making money. And I would say that's true. But if you're doing it from a place of insecurity where you're empty, that's different than if you're coming from a place where you feel whole and you're doing the same thing. You're not coming from this like it's like I was saying the supervillain and the superhero analogy, right? The superhero has become one with his gifts and he has society has accepted him because he has accepted himself and he's not angry with society. And the supervillain is has never accepted himself and thinks he needs this power so society will accept him, and he's angry with society that he had to do that so they would accept him. So now he wants to destroy society. You got to be the superhero, not the supervillain. You have to accept yourself first. It's the whole reason why guys use pickup in the first. It's why I used it. Because I didn't think I was enough, and I was like, well, I need this pickup so I can get the girl. If I don't have this pickup, I'm not gonna know. Like what I have to say isn't enough. What I have to say isn't enough. So I need these lines and this structure from these other guys that have gotten a bunch of chicks to tell me how to do it. So I know that when I'm talking with the girl, I know what to say and I know what to do. Because if I do what I say and what I want to do, it's going to be the wrong thing. Because deep down, I know that I'm needy. You know what I mean? So I need this pickup to cover up that neediness. So really, what do I actually have to do? I have to handle that neediness, right? That's what I really have to do. That's what's preventing me from just being natural with girls. And in order to get over that neediness, I have to figure out where is it coming from? Where is the neediness coming from? Insecurity. And I know I'm insecure. I know when somebody's insecure because they begin to project insecurity onto other people. They talk shit about other people for not being fucking, like this idealized version of what they think a confident person is. And they're not that person though, because they put in the work and they figured out the way they're supposed to act. But all these other people that don't know how to act, they projected all their insecurities onto those people, and they talk shit about those people for not knowing pickup as well as they do. They think they're better, and now they're playing like these power games. And when they meet a girl, they're always trying to keep leverage on the girl and trying to keep a fucking leg up. And it's like, that's not what it is, dudes. That's not what a relationship is. It's a relationship where both of you are secure, both of you come in fucking secure, and both of you just enhance each other. Because just like I said, like the girl can give me that good feeling that only she can give me. It's the same for me. She can only get that masculine, turning her on energy from me. Okay. But she needs to make sure that, and by the way, I'm also screening her, making sure that she's a high self esteem woman and not like some dumb, destructive, just like girl that sees me as a wallet essentially. I don't treat her like a sex object, and she doesn't treat me like a fucking wallet. We both just like how we make each other feel, and that's all that it is. Okay, let's check out this Orion feller.
Cold approach has its pros and cons. I do think that it's very useful for a man to feel like he can do that. Like it's fantastic.
Okay, I just want to point one thing out. He clearly has never done any fucking cold approach in his fucking life, okay? So not that that's bad, but I'm saying this to say that he's talking about this from a very like intellectual mindset. He's looking at it as like a theory. He's not looking at it as a person that actually went through a pickup arc like you guys are going through or have gone through, or like the one that I have gone through. He's looking at it like as an idea, like, cold approach is this thing that makes, and like I said, he's a doctor. I believe he's a psychiatrist. So he's thinking about it like as a tool that someone can use to get a result. It's let me look it up real quick, young villain, and I'll answer your question in a sec. Young villain, I believe it's called, fuck, where's my fucking phone, dude? I don't know where my phone is, but I believe it's called How to Meet Women by Dr. Swole. It's a podcast he did with fucking Orion Taraban. Let me just look it up on Google real quick. And let me look at what your question is. Mark, if a girl reject you, what's the best method to handle it? Like facial expressions, bro. Don't hide your face, bro. Just like take it. Like don't fucking hide it, bro. Like if you're trying to hide how you're feeling, you're cooked. Like you need to not be doing that. In my opinion, what you need to be doing is just being honest about how you feel. If you're really that hurt, if you're really that hurt by it, where it's gonna make you're trying to hide how it made you feel because it hurt that fucking much. I would say I'd say there's an insecurity that you need to fucking handle. This is the video, guys. It's called How to Meet Women with Orion Taraban, Psych Hacks, and it's by Dr. Swole. These are two doctor guys. I mean, they're awesome dudes. I'm not trying to talk shit about them, but they're like two nerds talking about pickup. They're not pickup artists. You can tell the way he talks about it. He's never picked up a girl in his fucking life. Not like a PUA.
Cold approach has its pros and cons. I do think that it's very useful for a man to feel like he can do that. Like it's fantastic for his confidence and his self-esteem to have the felt sense of.
Okay. What he doesn't know is it's not fantastic. It's cold approach is the opposite of, or I would say just pickup content in general is counterproductive to being the guy that he's describing. But he doesn't know that because he hasn't fucking done any cold approach.
Of success that I can go out, approach a woman, I can engage her emotions, I can have a conversation, and I can successfully, if I choose to, direct the interaction in the direction of a sexual encounter. That does.
Okay. Again, you do not need to direct it. The interaction shall take care of itself. It would be the equivalent of, I mean, sure, you can make like a little bit of like, you can be like, hey, I'm going to go over here. You want to go? I'm not saying don't like do anything. Like if you feel like asking her to move, ask her to fucking move. But I'm saying it's like when you make a friend, guys, as I was saying yesterday, when you make a friend, you're not strategizing how to get his number or how to ask him out, or you're doing zero strategy. You guys are just vibing, and then naturally the interaction handles itself. You just become friends because there's a vibe there. It's the same thing. So what he's saying, that you're a guy that does pick up because you're going to learn how to engage her emotions and run a set and take it to a close like you want, the interaction is going to take care of that on its own. Men and women have been fucking and reproducing for hundreds of thousands of years. Okay. It's built into our biology. What's going on if somebody cannot do it and they're stuck in pickup purgatory is because they're getting in their own way. And the reason they're getting in their own way is because they keep thinking they need something outside of themselves, that they're not enough to pick up the girl. They need some kind of tool. They do not. You do not. You just need to fucking be in the moment and be turned on by the girl. And that's basically it, dudes. And just feel good with her. Just like when you meet a dude and you make a dude your friend, you just vibe with the dude. And then you just, you get his number, he gets your number, and you guys hang out later. Same shit with a chick. This is why I'm saying that when he was saying this, I was like, this dude's never done a fucking cold approach in his life. Like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Does wonders for a man's confidence, and that's a virtuous cycle. The more confident he becomes, the more likely he's going to be successful in that approach.
It will not do wonders for a man's confidence. Okay, I will say this. It'll do wonders for a man's fake confidence. Yes, it will. Because then you feel like I have this tool, and with this tool, I can get girls. And I love this thing. I'm a pickup artist now. I have my routines and my sets and my pickups and my inner game that I've learned. And because of all that, now I can talk with girls. Thanks. You're coveting this object that you have. And now because of that, I feel confident, right? However, what's going to end up happening is that you're going to need that thing to feel confident. And over time, especially when you get into a relationship with the girl, when you start playing long game with her, that game, that little object that you use, that little trick that you can do to get the girl is eventually going to start to fade, and the real you is going to start to surface. And when the real you begins to surface, you're going to lose frame, and your insecurities are going to come to the surface, and you're going to lose the girl. You're going to get a RAS switch flick, as Owen likes to say, but she's going to find out your real you that you've been trying to hide this whole time with fucking pickup, and you're going to lose her, and you're going to end up having lots of unfulfilling relationships. Or you will be able to keep it up, but it's going to be a constant having to maintain your leverage throughout the entire relationship. And anytime that the girl fucking you lose any kind of leverage, you're gonna feel this need to spring into action. You're gonna end up being more jealous when other guys that are naturals that didn't have to use pickup and have to learn pickup to get girls come into the picture and try to take your girl from you, because you won't know what they're doing. And you're gonna be like, what technique is he? And you're just not gonna be able to understand that he just feels good on his own, and that's what the girl is drawn to, that he just feels good. And with you, while the girl might see the strength behind it, she knows that it's bullshit. She knows that you're fucking pushing a button. She knows. But what she likes isn't that you're pushing a button, it's the strength behind it. She's attracted to the strength of the frame that you've built up, because it's a strong frame. So she's attracted to that. But when she meets a guy that doesn't need anything to do that, and he's naturally just powerful, she's going to go with him every single time, and you're going to lose her. You're going to lose her. So it's actually not building confidence, because for you to build natural confidence, you need to use natural game. And that's even like a fucking oxymoron in a sense, because natural game is just being your fucking self. That's why I think that's the greatest advice. It's the worst and best advice at the same time. Be your fucking self. That's the fucking best way to do it. I would say be yourself. Don't be a creep. That's it. If I had to sum up game, I'd be like, be yourself. Don't be a creep. That's it. Feel good. That's it. But yeah, it's the opposite, guys. You're actually not building confidence when you're fucking learning cold approach.
Another liability about cold approach is, I kind of alluded to it earlier, in order to get good at it, you have to put in a lot of reps. And
okay, he's saying what I was saying now. He's like, you have to keep it up. You have to keep this shit up. At no point can you ever turn it off, because the moment that you turn it off, your insecurities are going to come back up. Okay? So he's correct there.
that can create a callousness around women and dating. It becomes
exactly. He's going to say it's going to become mechanical. It's gonna cause you to lack a lack of empathy, where you're gonna be like, you're gonna get annoyed with chicks that you even have to run all this game on them, and you're gonna be like, fucking dumb bitches. I gotta be doing all this stupid shit, learning all this stupid game, wearing these fucking clothes and spending all these fucking money just to get access to these stupid fucking bitches that don't do fucking shit. They just fucking are born pretty and they just put cake, throw fucking makeup on their face, fucking keep a low calorie diet and fucking wear like a $10 fucking cocktail dress. And they've done everything they need to do. These fucking stupid bitches. Why am I putting in all this effort? And then they're constantly fucking testing me. By the way, the reason they're constantly testing you is because you're using all this fucking pickup bullshit and they can pick up on it and be like, oh, this isn't really who he is. Like it's fucking painted on your fucking forehead when you're using game. It's so obvious. And if it's not obvious right away, it will become obvious fucking eventually in certain moments where you don't have the right line and your actual true self peeks out and she sees it. You know what I mean? And it's like you're digging yourself into a hole, guys. You're digging yourself into a hole if you're like investing all your eggs in the pickup basket.
Mechanical, it becomes like a
You're
system
losing
because
empathy.
let's be honest, certain things tend to work over hundreds or thousands of repetitions. You begin to optimize for those things. I've also seen that sometimes people can get just sort of
I do agree with him when he says you begin to. I feel like a lot of the pickup in the beginning, at least what it was for me, is using a bunch of different. You get into this whole thing where you want to absorb as much pickup content as fucking humanly possible because you want to figure out what works, what's the best shit. Then you're looking for the next product. And then some other guy comes on and is like, no, I got this other technique that you need to know. And then you get into that dude and you get into these other things. And it's just never going to fucking end because you're always going to feel this need to get the best game possible, keep your game tight, and be constantly optimizing your approach. What's up, Mark? And be constantly fucking optimizing your approach when really you should be working on yourself and loving yourself and accepting yourself and introspecting on yourself and understanding female psychology just so you can understand women and communicate with them better. Just to understand them, not to get anything from them. You're going to be giving yourself love and women love. That's where your focus should be, not on fucking these like little hacks to push buttons to get quicker to the pussy because the girl becomes an obstacle to the pussy. It's insane. The girl is an obstacle to the pussy as opposed to the girl and being the like it's the same thing. It's like you can't love the girl. You could never really truly love a girl if you're in the pickup frame because she's an obstacle to getting to what you want. You have to also all the time be going like everything she does is a test, and you have to constantly be reinforcing your fucking leverage over her. It's wild, bros. It's wild.
lost in the game, like picking up for the sake of picking up. I've talked to guys, they don't even like the girls that they're picking up. They're not even attracted to the girls, but they feel
Mhm.
like they have to keep playing the game. Like the game is now playing them in some case.
Yeah, that's true. That's happened to me before too. When you start talking about shit like I need to do warm up sets, talk to ugly girls, talk to guys, talk, close, get number closes of girls you don't even like because it gets you in momentum and blah blah blah. Bros, are you seeing how unnatural that is? Like that's not how people communicate. Do you see how it's turning you into like not you? I'm not saying you in particular. I'm saying you in general. You see how it's turning people into fucking. It's making them weird because now you're not even. Now it becomes this humongous ego trip where you're just doing it to prove to yourself that you can do it. And life is not about doing things just to prove yourself to yourself. You know what I say? It's about loving yourself and everything being an extension of you loving yourself. And naturally, because you love yourself and you enjoy things, yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't really know if I'm gonna be doing that. This might be my last live stream for a while. I'm not sure, man. It's like I have a couple videos that I'm working on that are actually like pre-made edited videos that I'm gonna be releasing. But yeah, they're I don't know how much I'm gonna be fucking streaming, bro. And then I also have a job, so it depends on like when I get finished with work and it just depends on so many things. But yeah, it would be cool if I could have like scheduled live streams, but I'm having difficulty right now like staying engaged with them because like I was saying at the beginning, it's like I like talking about this pickup stuff with you guys so I can share what I've learned with you. And so you guys can, say whatever you want. Like I like interacting with you guys, but it's like it feels so unnecessary for me at this point because you really don't have to do anything to meet these girls. Like you really don't. And it's like putting so much effort into it is just like a waste of fucking energy. I want to be like practicing my Portuguese right now or looking up skate videos to just chill my brain out or reading a book or something, that has nothing to do with this. But it is what it is. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, I don't know how many more of these streams I'm going to be doing, at least until I get to Argentina.
Cases. But that's an extreme example. Most guys won't get there. Cold approach can take a long time to get good at. It's a skill, and you have to suffer through a great deal of rejection. It's kind of like becoming a master telemarketer, I would think. It's like,
Yeah, again, just like the ungodly amount of rejection that we're subjecting ourselves through by trying to, what the crazy thing is too, like the reason we're being rejected a lot in the beginning is our approach is getting rejected. We're not getting rejected. Our approach is getting rejected because we're walking up and the girl can tell. Oh no, yeah. Do you have access to the drive, man, with my whole vault on there? It's like 6 Google Drives worth of, so it's like what, like 80 gigabytes of fucking pickup videos. I just uploaded a new video like a couple weeks ago. I uploaded No Flakes. That might be my favorite pickup product of all time. I mean, I haven't watched it, but from what I remember, I just really liked that product when it came out, but it's super difficult to find. You can't even buy it on like the archive. There are sites that are archived where they have archived products and you can buy them for like $20. And then you get these. I think the next product I'm going to buy just to upload it onto the drive is David D'Angelo's Body Language drive or series. But okay, yeah, man, I'll give it to you right now. Just send me an email. Tell me I'm from the stream. I believe that's it. Yeah, yeah, man. Just send me an email there, and I'll share them all with you after this. After I get off this post. But what was I saying? Yeah, like all this rejection we're taking is so like it's so unnatural what you're going through, and it's crazy too because the reason that if you're like me, like when I was putting myself through it, it's because it was like it's something I have to put myself through because I'm not enough and I'm fucking weird, and it's almost like I'm punishing myself. It's like a humiliation ritual that I'm putting myself through to reconfirm to myself that I'm not fucking enough. And because I'm not enough, I deserve this humiliation and I deserve all these rejections. At this point now, it's not to say that I'm not going to get rejected now. I'm probably going to get rejected more than ever now because I'm getting older and older and older. But when I get rejected now, it's just like I can just take it like, oh, the girl just wasn't interested. Yeah, no worries, brother. The girl just wasn't interested. And it's like, and I'm just older, whatever. It just wasn't a match. And I can just move on about my day. But when I would get rejected before, I would start getting in my head sometimes and being like, what was wrong with my approach? Like, did I come in from the wrong angle? And fucking, did I use the wrong line? Was my tone of voice on point? Am I dressed right? Like, whatever the fuck I'm thinking, I'm like micro analyzing every little behavior that went into that rejection so I can avoid the rejection next time rather than just being natural about it, dudes. Like, I will say, guys, I haven't watched the video in a while, but there is a good video on the Google Drive. I believe it's on Google Drive 1 called What It Takes to Be a Natural. So You Want to Be a Natural or something by Joe Natural, where Brad P interviews Joe Natural. Give that a listen. Joe Natural is a very natural dude, and I like that dude. He's a funny guy, actually. And when you listen to him speak, you'll listen to what a natural sounds like. Like I Owen's great, like Jeffy's great. A lot of these guys I've heard over the years are great, but they're all like pickup guys. And the naturals are the best guys to listen to, especially with all the shit that I'm telling you, dudes, where it's like, just be yourself. Like, just be yourself. Don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid for the girl to walk away. Don't be afraid to sit in the tension. Don't be afraid if it's silent. Don't always feel this need to talk. Like, just like be in the moment. Stop thinking about what the fuck you're doing so much, would be is my advice.
Like, how many times are you going to get hung up on? How many times are you going to get yelled at? How many times are you just going to be told no, 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 and have the door slammed in your face? Like, you have to get through that period of suck in order to develop
No.
any kind of mastery in any skill set. The issue is that
With pickup, you do not though. That's why I know this guy hasn't done any pickup. It's like you don't have to do it. The if you're putting yourself through that, stop. You know what I mean? Like, you're like punching yourself in the face over and over, telling yourself, I'm not good enough. I need more pickup. I'm not good enough. It's like, stop punching yourself in the face and start to fucking love yourself. Start to be honest with yourself. You're insecure. Start to figure out what you're insecure about. Start to examine that part of yourself, why it's there, what happened. Because, well, it's all starts before you even do the approach, my friend. It's like you already just are enjoying your day. Like, when you wake up, you're just you like when I wake up, I just wake up and I'm like, what do I want to do today? What do I feel like doing? I'm engaged in my own world already. Okay. And then when I walk up to a person that I want to speak with, it's because I'm actually interested in talking with them, not because I'm doing a warm-up set. Okay. If I'm doing a warm-up set and I need to get myself socially loose and all that, that's different. That I'm coming in with an agenda. You go, it's not natural, bro. As opposed to if I'm coming in like, oh, this person looks interesting. I want to talk with them. I wonder what they got going on. That's a completely different frame that I'm coming from. So if I'm actually coming in because I genuinely want to get to know the person, it's gonna be fun. You get what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know if you have a hobby, but whenever you do your hobby, yeah, you still have to warm up doing the hobby or whatever. But even when you're warming up, you're having a good time because you're interested in doing that hobby and it's fun to you and it's interesting to you. If you're reading a book, how do you stay entertained by reading the book? Because you're interested in reading the book. It's just like, just be curious about what you're doing. If it's not something you're curious about doing, don't do it, because you're going to be forcing yourself to do it now. And it's going to be like, if you ever get the feeling when you're going into a set, like, I don't want to do it, but I have to do it because I needed to warm up. You're fucking cooked. You're already coming in the wrong way, bro. I recommend just going out sometime. Bro, this is why I said many streams ago, just get good at going out and having fun by yourself. Quit needing people to have fun. You are enough to have fun on your own. Okay. You can just go out to a bar. If you like to drink, go out to a bar, go out to a sports bar, watch the game, sit in the bar, drink your beer, enjoy the game because it's something you want to fucking watch. I go out and I shoot pool. I'll go out. Back when I was drinking, I buy a beer, I drink a beer while I'm shooting pool, and I'm having fun shooting pool. And then naturally, if I see somebody that looks interesting, I'll fucking say something to them. Sometimes people will come up to you because they see you that you're engaged and having fun in your own world, and they'll start talking with you. If you're walking down the street and you see somebody you want to talk with because of for whatever reason, fucking talk with them because they look interesting and just be like, "Yo, what's up, man? This is cool. What is that thing? What's that thing that you're doing? I just, yeah, that looks cool. Where'd you get that?" I'm literally saying fucking nothing. I'm just curious in the person and it's just interesting to me. That's how you do it, man. You just allow the world to engage you rather than trying to force yourself to like stuff that he literally just talked about it, where he's talking about guys that talk with girls that they're not even attracted to just to get the reps in. It's like, stop doing that. You know, my recommendation, stop doing that. I get you feel like you might need it, okay? But if you feel like that, it's because you're covering up an insecurity. Deal with that insecurity, bro. Deal with that stuff. Deal with your own stuff first. Once you can love yourself and handle your own things, then when you go out into the world, everything naturally becomes an extension of you just wanting to feel good and spread out the party out. You just move toward things that interest you and that feel good towards you. Maybe you don't like the town that you're in, but you just keep staying there because you're telling yourself, I have to be here because I can't leave until I accomplish certain goals. And it's like, No, you don't. Like you can just leave as soon as you're ready because you've got what you need and you can go. You don't need to build up all this status before you can go to New York City. You can go to New York City right fucking now. Maybe you'll be poor in the beginning, maybe it'll be tough in the beginning, but you know what? It won't matter because you'll be where you want to be, and that'll excite you every day that when you wake up. Even if your living conditions suck, because you're out there getting it and living your fucking life how you want, that's going to make you feel good, and that's going to improve your experience. It's going to improve your productivity. It's going to improve your focus, and naturally you're just going to fucking work harder and get better results. Or maybe you'll find out, you know what, I actually don't like it here. I actually don't like New York City. You end up doing a reset and going back to where you're from, and you'll start again. But it'll be fine because what's driving you are your own good emotions. And if your good emotions are already naturally driving you, you're naturally going to be having a good time anyway. Bro, I would say to not do any of that, bro. That stuff is just, I mean, if you find it interesting, go ahead, check it out, man. But that's going to send you down this rabbit hole of thinking you need it to feel good. I would say just do introspection. Just be like, why do you think I would probably hire a fucking if I was going to do introspection, I would start looking up just videos on insecurity and like this Orion Taraban guy, he's okay. You could look him up. I would start looking up stuff like Healthy Gamer GGG. Healthy Gamer GGG is a clinical psychologist, and he talks about how to deal with your own demons. There's also the Being Well podcast. Here, I'll write these in the Being Well podcast is good. I watch that stuff all the time for ideas for my clients. Healthy Gamer GGG. Those are two good places to start, man. You don't need any pickup stuff, man. Pickup stuff is counterproductive. That's what I've been saying this whole time. It's doing you more damage than it's doing, I would say, like 95 to 99% fucking damage and just preying on your insecurities, bro. Your problem is that you're insecure. Ah, really? Ah, that's a good one. I'll have to figure out which one that is, man. But I mean, Healthy Gamer is okay, but he's kind of, he's not. I use him sometimes for ideas, but I'm not really the biggest fan of Healthy Gamer. He's kind of a fucking dork. Being Well, I like. Being Well is a good guy. I would say start looking into shadow work, man. So go watch the Being Well podcast and then look up fucking shadow work. That's a that's a good podcast to start. Like start looking at yourself, man. Stop thinking that you need girls so you can feel good about yourself. You do need girls. We all need girls so they can turn us on. We need them for that. Like they definitely bring a lot of value, but you don't need them to feel good about yourself. Okay? And once you can feel good about yourself and just being present in your own energy, the girls will feel that when you talk with them. And you'll naturally push girls away that are like bringing your energy down. You'll naturally push girls away that aren't that interesting, and you just go talk to another girl. Because you're just gonna be feeling good in your own energy, man, and just self love, bro. Just like focus on fucking self love, man. All right, let me get back to the Taraban fucker.
That's a pretty hard cliff for a lot of guys, and so they just shy away from ever
Pick up artistry, dating, and all right. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up on Google. I'm gonna let this play while I look that up on Google, man.
mastering that skill, or even worse, they just do it here and there, and so they don't get enough reps, and all they get is negative feedback, and that really spoils their perception of women and the dating pool in general. It's impossible to go from being absolutely single and having no options as a man to dating a 9. And the longer that guy is single, the more certain I am that it will never happen, because that
hold on.
in general
I remember when he said this.
spoils their perception of
This is bullshit
women
as well.
and the dating pool in general. It's impossible to go from being absolutely single and having no options as a man to dating a 9. And the longer that guy
Absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. I'm telling you guys right now. I am single as fuck right now. I have not picked up really any girls in like the last like, let me see. I've been living here since November 3rd, 2024. So what, like almost a month, almost fucking a year, 1.25 years. Okay. I am going to go down to Argentina and I guarantee you guys will pick up a fucking nine. No fucking problem. The thing is, this is why I'm telling you earlier that I can tell this guy has never done cold approach in his fucking life. This is what happens. Nothing against the guy, okay? I hope I don't sound like I'm shitting on him. I'm just talking about the way that he's presenting himself, okay? I'm sure he's a great guy. He's out here giving us content, right? So God bless him. God love him, you know? But this is how I can tell that he's never done pickup and that he's coming at this from a completely intellectual perspective. He has no experience with what it actually feels like to be this guy. Okay. I've told you guys on many streams, I, as a broke, old, short, not good looking guy, can have gotten with every type of girl that I fucking wanted to. Okay. And I'm going to leave here and go to Argentina on the 24th. I'll land. I'll fly out on the 22nd of February, and I will 100% get a hot chick. 100% without even fucking trying. I mean, I'll have to talk with them or whatever, but I will 100% get them. Okay. I've gone out to bars. Okay. I've gone out to bars and talked to no girls whatsoever. And I'm just fucking having fun doing my own thing. And fucking smoking hot chick comes up and talks to me and starts picking me up or starts like sending me approach invitations. I go from single as fuck, no girl with me, not even dressed well, broke as fuck, like there's nothing crazy about me, short, all the things that I'm not supposed to, that you're not supposed to be able to get girls with, and some smoking hot chick, taller than me, younger than me, half my age, is trying to get me to pick her up all the time. It's happened to me so many times. It's fucking ridiculous. Okay. This is how I know what he's saying is fucking bullshit. But the reason that he's saying this is because he's playing the status game. He's playing the fucking pickup artist, the LMSG, looks, money, status, or game. Okay. That you need one of these four things to get girls. You don't need any of them. You don't need any of this shit. But he's a good example with somebody that thinks like that and also has a PhD, the type of shit that they'll say. He's saying that it's impossible, even though he's never actually. Ah, thanks, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be in Argentina for like, let's see, I'll be in Ushuaia. Here, I'll write it in the chat. You guys want to see where I'm going? You guys want to see like a map? I showed it on one of the old streams, but I can show you guys exactly where I'm going if you guys want to see. But I'm going to start in Ushuaia, then go to Bariloche, and then I'm going to go to Chile for a little bit, but then I'll come back and I'll be in Mar del Plata, and then I'll be in Buenos Aires. And then I'll be in Ushuaia and Bariloche for 2 weeks each, for like 15 days and 16 days. I'll be in Mar del Plata, I believe, for a month, I think. And then I'll be in Buenos Aires for a month. So I'll end up being there for 3 months this time around. So I've got some adventures coming up in Argentina. I'm super looking forward to being in Buenos Aires again, because the last time I was in Buenos Aires, I actually have, I have way more to go, man. I have 38 locations that I'm going to, and I'm going to be traveling for like 2 years. These are just the locations I'm going to in Argentina. But if you guys look at my shorts, on my channel, some of those shorts are from Argentina back in 2023. And I even say it in the video where I'm like, the girls out here in Argentina have dry you know what, and I'm like all butthurt, which trips me out when I watch those, because from what I remember, Argentina was fire. I don't know why the fuck I'm so butthurt in some of the videos. But I also know that back then I was still in a pickup frame, so I couldn't appreciate things the way that I can appreciate things now. Anyway, back to this dude that is clearly not, he has no emotional understanding of what it's like to be a secure guy. He's stuck in the LMSG fucking frame status game.
Is single, the more certain I am that it will never happen, because that guy is going to be so out of practice when it comes to chatting up a girl, seducing her.
Okay, see, I will agree from the way that he's framing it. I agree that if you're a guy that needs to understand the structure of how a pickup works and you need to have your lines on point and you need to have your game tight, yeah, you're not going to go from not talking to any girls to then picking up a 9, because when you go back out there, all your insecurities are going to come back up and your game is not going to be on point, and you're going to come off like very fumbling and just like uh, disorganized and lost, and the girls, you're not going to be able to pick up any girls. So this is why he's saying that, because he thinks that to pick up a girl you need to have game. You do not, because if you're not insecure you don't need any, but if you are insecure you need it. Okay, so he's coming from this, like, he's talking to you if you're an insecure guy. If you're an insecure guy, everything he's saying is 100% accurate. I hope you guys are seeing how a lot of the fucking pickup stuff is for people that are insecure. So a lot of that stuff applies, but once you transcend that paradigm and you're no longer an insecure guy, none of it fucking makes sense and even looks fucking retarded and fucking stupid. Okay? But look, this guy is a doctor. And look at how look at how the guy that's interviewing him is looking at him, and the other guy's also a doctor. But what's really going on is they're both just insecure. But from this insecure frame, you have a certain paradigm that you have to fucking serve, that is your master, and you're operating within certain limits. Us, on the other hand, that are not these insecure people, we don't have these limits. We can just fucking fuck around and laugh, and that's it. Then we can literally just get chicks fucking making fun of them. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous.
Maintaining frame, leading a relationship, engaging her over time, being a good boyfriend, that he's not going to know what to do with a 9, even if fate dumped one in his lap. So,
okay, so that shit too, where he's talking about you need to, he won't be able to lead a relationship and he won't even know how to do this or that. It's like, you do not need to be thinking about that shit. Just like I said earlier, when you make a friend, you're not strategizing about how to keep him your friend. He just stays your friend. And I'm sure you guys, some of you guys have friends you've had your whole lives, 10 years and shit. At any point, have you ever had to like sit down and be like, how can I keep him as a friend? No, it just naturally handles itself, because just from you guys being around each other and being a fucking energetic match, it just leads to you guys doing shit together. It's the same with a girl. You meet a girl, she likes you, you guys are getting along. It's about you guys just feeling good together. And then naturally, and then also because you already have your own life figured out, where you just naturally are being led by your own emotions, your own feel good emotions, and you just feel good on your own. You're already doing things that make you feel good. And since the relationship is you guys just feeling good together, naturally the relationship is going to take care of itself. And then it's going to be on the girl. She's the one that's going to bring up, what are we doing? I want us to be in a relationship. She's going to start bringing all the relationship shit up to you, because that's her job. That's her job to worry about the relationship, not you. You're just having fun, dude. I make fun of girls. Like, if some girl were to ask me, like, hey, you want to be in a relationship? I would start making fun of her. I'd be like, what, you want to get married already, you weirdo? I just met you like a month ago. Chill out.
usually women, they don't love the idea that a man is talking to or even dating other women, but on some level, it's safer for them to deal with that guy than the man that no women are dealing with. Like, what's wrong with you? Want to go?
Okay. Again, this is coming from the insecure frame, and that's correct. The guy that none of the women are talking with is probably because he's insecure. So he can't, number one, he's insecure, or he has no empathy. Those are the like number two things. This is why I'm saying, like, be yourself and don't be a creep are the best pickup advice that anybody could give you. Be yourself. Translation, you have to be, or implication, you have to be secure within yourself. Be your secure self. And then don't be a creep is have empathy for the girl. And you won't be a creep because you actually care about her experience and how you're making her feel. Equally, she should have empathy for you. If she's treating you like a fucking wallet, then you need to push her to the side. Just like if you're treating a girl like a sex object, she needs to push you to the side because you're not having any empathy for her. Okay, so as long as you're doing those two things, you're not going to be the guy that the girls aren't talking with because you'll be able to talk with them, be yourself, be in tune with their feelings. That invites them to be in tune with yours. You guys can be interested in each other, curious about each other, and just feel good and doing things just to feel good with each other.
To the place where there is a line, even if it means you have to wait for 2 hours. Because like, I bet the food's going to be good here. You know, it might not be. Those aren't always reliable signals, but it does change our sense of confidence with respect to the quality of the experience. Same thing in relationships, man.
Okay, right there, you guys might have not picked up on it, but he was talking about if you're going to go to a restaurant and you see a long line outside of a restaurant, you're more likely to go to that restaurant because there's a long line outside of it. I am not more likely. I'm actually less likely to go because I don't want to wait in fucking line. I go to a restaurant, again, he's coming from this insecure frame. So he's saying that there's a long line outside of the restaurant. So that reassures his insecurity of whether or not the restaurant's any good. Okay. Coming from a secure frame, you go to a restaurant because you want to go and you don't care if there are people there or not. If we're talking about strictly just about the food and the environment of the restaurant, like the stuff it has up on the wall and the way that the servers are dressed and blah, 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 I'm going to go to restaurants where it looks fun. And I look at the menu. You know what I do when I walk up to a restaurant? The first thing I do is like, let me see your menu. I walk up to the host, it's like, may I see your menu? They give me the menu. I look at the food. I look in the restaurant and look at the vibe in there. And if it looks fun and the food looks good, then I go in there. I don't go in there because, oh, are there a lot of people lined up outside? Oh, that means I can feel good about it. It's like super weird to be fucking thinking about it like that, unless you're coming from a fucking insecure frame. Then everything he's saying, it makes total sense.
Men don't really have a plan. They don't have a plan past getting laid, at least. It's like most people, they didn't think they'd ever get this far, you know? So it's like I thought about what I was going to do up until this point, and then that's good enough for me. Like I'm happy just seeing you every once in a while and sleeping together and having a good time. That's a lot of men's plan, especially when they're young. Women have a plan. Like, you know, it's been a few months, so like, what are we? And it's been a year, so I think that.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's up to the girls to worry about the relationship. So he's making sense. However, she's not going to want to be in a relationship with you if you need her in any way whatsoever. So what he said in the beginning, where it's like most guys' plan is like they just want to get laid and then they don't know what's going to happen after that. I think that's an excellent plan. I think it's better to not have a plan. I think it is good to know, like, you know, if you want a wife or not, how many kids you want, when you want to get married, shit like that. There's nothing wrong with knowing that. But sitting there fucking worrying about it, that is the woman's job. Okay. If I'm out having fun and enjoying my life, the women shall come naturally. I will be in environments where the women will be. I will talk with those women because I have no insecurity about talking with them. And I will meet women. And then after meeting so many women, some of them will proposition me with relationships, and I'll say yes or no or whatever. But I think that's a perfect strategy. I think it's good to know long term what you want. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not even being desperate, man. And I'm not saying to not have a plan at all. I'm just saying it's good to know what you want. But to sit there planning it out, yeah, that's the girl's job, you know? And I think that from a certain place, a man sitting there planning out his relationships and thinking about that kind of shit is coming from a place of insecurity because he doesn't believe that a woman's gonna come to him with like once you understand that it's women's job to worry about the relationship, you can forget about it because you can just go out there, meet women, have fun with them, and eventually they're gonna come up and tell you like, hey, this is what I want in a relationship. And then you can be like, yeah, that sounds good to me, or no, that doesn't sound good to me. And you can basically be in this position where you're just deciding whether the type of relationship she wants is good to you or not. The only time I would say that it would matter to to let the girl know what your plan is if you want multiple girlfriends or closed on her end, open on your end. If you want something like that, then when she brings the relationship up, that's when I would be like, okay, yeah, but you can be my primary girl. I like you a lot too, but I'm still gonna need to be able to meet women and have sex with different women because it's just something that I need. I need new girls constantly, it's just a need of mine. But I won't commit to those girls. I'll only commit to you. Maybe in that sense I would do it. I honestly couldn't do that. I honestly just want like one girl. But if you're one of those guys that needs a bunch of girls for whatever reason, you need constant new pussy for whatever reason, I would bring it up when she brings up the relationship. You let the girl bring the relationship up. You at no point should be bringing up the relationship. And I'm saying this because if she brings it up, then when you give it to her, it's a reward. But if I'm bringing it up and then she agrees to a relationship because I brought it up, then she's like doing me a fucking favor. You know what I mean? And I know it's not really a power game. I'm talking about more for having empathy for the girl. The best experience for her is if you let her bring it up. All we have to worry about is just having fun and having a good time and just being fucking awesome and loving ourselves. That's our job, I guess, in a sense. As long as we're doing that, the girl will bring it up to you, and it's gonna make the more exciting. It's gonna make it more exciting for her, and more. There's gonna be more drama, and she's gonna like it more if you allow. So don't take that away from her. Is what I'm saying. It's not really a power move. It's more of a it's more natural anyway because like I said, it's the girl's job to be bringing up relationship shit.
We should take the next step. And what are your thoughts about children? And here's 3 wedding venues that I researched. Which one would you like? And they have the schedule, and men more or less tend to be a little bit more easygoing. And they're just like, oh, okay. So the woman assumes more and more control just because she has a plan. But in general, in life, not just in relationships, if you don't have a plan, you're part of somebody else's plan. Like, you cannot be planless. You're just a cog in somebody else's machine.
I sort of agree with him. I'm more like I sort of agree with the sense like know what you want. You don't need a fucking plan though. This is what I'm saying. This guy's kind of like he's a fucking I don't mean this in a derogatory sense, but he's a nerd. He's got a PhD, he's a doctor and all this shit, and he needs all this structure. You don't need a plan. You just need to know what you want. That's it. When you know what you want, you let the girl worry about the plan. And then when she comes up with whatever nonsense, if you like it, then you approve. And if you don't like it, then you don't. But as long as you know what you want, the plan will take care of itself, dude. It's like you'll just naturally be like, all right, I want to get married now. All right, I want kids now. All right, I want to move now. It's like you don't really need a plan. I do have a plan for my trip coming up, but that's so I can manage my money better. But I naturally just came up with that plan because it aligns with what I have, so I can use what I have to achieve what I want. But even if you do get a plan, like I'm saying, it's naturally going to come up. You don't need to be planning ahead, is my point. Naturally going to happen. Just know what you want, okay? And to know what you want, you're going to have to introspect. Just like you're going to have to introspect to handle your insecurities, you're going to have to introspect to figure out what the fuck you even want. And then who the fuck you even are. And love yourself and shit like that.
So it is really important, I think, for men to be very clear what they want with respect to their relationships with women. And that will allow them to maintain frame, which will allow them to stay in the adored role, which might actually be in the best interests of the sustainability of that relationship.
Insecurity in a relationship. Like, let's
remember, what we want is to feel good and not fucking put any conditions on allowing ourselves to feel good just to feel good. We just want to feel good and have fun. That's the frame. Okay, that's what he was just talking about. Just kind of like respond to what he said there.
say you're seeing signs of it
In yourself or in your partner?
in your partner.
I mean, it's tough, man. Just kind of get a partner who's not insecure, I would say. I know that sounds callous, but
Seeing signs
sustainability of that relationship.
insecurity in a relationship. Like, let's say you're seeing signs of it
In yourself or in your partner?
in your partner.
I mean, it's tough, man. Just kind of get a partner who's not insecure, I would say. I know that sounds callous, but
All right, this is gonna be a part. I remember when he said this. I actually agree with him here. This is the one fucking thing I agree with him that he says throughout all these clips. But as he's saying now, get a partner that's not insecure. What's the implied task? What's the implied task? For you not to be insecure. Lots of noise and bad advice that doesn't work right and it wastes men's time. Well, you know what it is, dude? It's just a bunch of insecure dudes giving other insecure dudes advice about how to mm, hide their insecurity and look like they know what they're doing. This is why a lot of mainstream makes fun of pickup because they're aware that the guys are really just insecure and they're doing this little party trick to get chicks, you know? That's all that it is, man. It's true. It's like insecure guys giving other insecure guys advice. And it's I would agree. I used to be one of those insecure guys, you know, and it was really fucking me up for a long, long time, man. Until I finally figured out that I'm just insecure. That's all that it is. And this is a humongous fucking ego trip. But what he's saying now, where he's like, get somebody that's not insecure, you yourself first have to be not insecure. You're going to attract what you are, you know? And if the pickup stuff that people use, it's going to work best on insecure girls or drunk girls. You know what I mean? And it's like secure girls are going to look at you like, what the fuck is this dude doing? You know what I mean? Like, it's so obvious what you're doing.
Get a partner who's not insecure, I would say. I know that sounds callous, but at this stage of the game, I think that 90% of successful relationships is selection, because that person needs to feel good about him or herself. If the entire world...
Yeah, what he said there about selection, it is correct. When it comes to screening girls, insecure girls are going to try to be knocking you down, and they're going to be constantly pushing that button because they constantly want to just feel how good you feel. And they're always going to be having, like, they're always going to need shit because they're fucking insecure. And it's a drain, man. They're going to be super toxic and have these fucking lashing out incidents. And then you're going to be like unaffected by it and be like, whatever, this is fucking stupid. And then when you're not affected by it, they're going to want to have makeup sex, which makeup sex is great, but ultimately they're just going to be a huge drain on you because they're going to constantly be requiring revalidation over. They're super needy. And it's like, you have to screen those girls out, man. And you're going to be able to screen those girls out when you yourself are not insecure. Because honestly, to a guy that's insecure, when that insecure girl comes to you and you're handling her shit and not being affected by it, and then she gives you makeup sex, that whole toxic loop you get in with her, that's going to be a power trip to you as an insecure guy, because you're going to be in the power position. You're going to be the one validating her or not validating her. And she's going to be like constantly looking at you to cover up or to fulfill her insecurities. And then this is what happens with an insecure person. So they're insecure. They come and have a fight with you or whatever. You're unaffected by it. Then you have makeup sex, and then they'll be good for a while. They'll be good for a while. And then something new will trigger their insecurity, some girl or something they saw on TV, or they'll fucking see a fucking TikTok or some shit that'll trigger their insecurity. And out of nowhere, they'll just come and start a fight with you. And they'll think of some random shit from like 5 months ago or some shit you didn't even know they were mad at you about. And they'll start a fucking fight with you. And then you have to deal with them again. And it's you having and when they're starting to fight with you, it's because they need you to fucking feed this little fucking insecurity monster to get them to fucking get back to balance again, because they've gotten out of balance now. And it's going to be this constant fucking insecurity that you're going to have to be covering up. So when you're meeting a girl, when you're going through the selection process, it's very important that you pick up on subtle little things that they're doing, whether or not the girl is fucking actually coming from an insecure place or she's coming from a secure place, you know? When you're in the club or when you're in the bar, when you meet her, can you walk away from her and talk to other girls? And is she fucking watching you, following you around? Or is she fucking doing her own thing, you know? Does she have a bunch of friends that she showed up with? Or is it just her and her other insecure friend that showed up together? And was she a huge bitch in the beginning when you first met her and she made it really hard for you to fucking get with her? And then once you broke through her wall, she was like super fucking bubbly and shit. That's another sign that she's an insecure girl, because she can't just own her attraction, you know? there are like tons of signs. I can't really go over them, but you'll start to pick up on them, dudes, where if the girl's insecure, cut her off immediately from the beginning. Do not even have sex with her because you're gonna absorb that fucking poison into your fucking body, man. Like, just don't do it.
believed in him or her, but they didn't, it would be irrelevant. Self-belief, self-confidence, self-esteem, those things cannot be created through external validation, reinforcement, or support. And the problem occurs not only when you have an insecure partner, but when you have a partner who thinks that, oh, I can make this person feel secure. And you can't. Like, you can't fill up a bucket with a hole in it. And so nothing continues to work. And eventually the person who's giving and giving and giving feels burnt out, feels resentful, feels like, fuck it. Like, no matter what I do, I don't seem to get anywhere. I've just broken the first signs of insecurity to begin with, because
Now, he's talking about a girl, but listen to what he said one more time. I'm going to rewind it one more time what he said.
feels resentful. Eventually the person who's giving and giving and giving feels burnt out, feels resentful, feels like, fuck it. Like, no matter what I do, I don't seem to get anywhere. They might as well have just broken up at the first signs of insecurity to begin with.
Okay, the person that keeps giving and giving and giving feels burnt out, and they might as well just have given up when they felt they picked up the first signs of insecurity. So he's talking about a girl that's insecure, right? How stupid it sounds to give all your energy to an insecure girl. Turn it in on yourself. This is the same thing with pickup, where you keep throwing all this energy into pickup, and it's just because you're insecure, and pickup becomes exhausting, where like you don't even want to do any pickup, you don't want to talk with any girls, and then you like fucking give up for a second, and then you fucking decide to go back to it, and you get re-energized, and then you pour more energy into it, and then you get exhausted again. You're doing that same loop with yourself. The thing he's telling you not to do with a girl, you're doing it with yourself, and you're using pickup as the thing that you keep constantly pouring your energy into, when in actuality, you're just insecure. He just made the point there. So don't do it with somebody else, and don't do it with yourself. If you feel yourself being insecure, stop and fucking address it. Recently, one of my friends told me he worked on his alpha traits for years, and it worked him suddenly. Is not having insecurity has to do anything with being some alpha man? It's not having insecurity. It's having security. It's being secure. So it's not like we're trying to run away from insecurity. We're just seeing insecurity for what it is. Like, it's not useful. It's causing us to drain our energy by constantly trying to cover it up and build over it and prove to ourselves that we're not insecure, and everything's based around like trying to get away from this insecurity, when in actuality you just have to be a secure person. And once you're a secure person, insecurity doesn't even, it's not even a problem, you know. And it's not like you're going to conquer insecurity and never come back. Even if you're a secure person, you'll still have moments of insecurity, but you just won't fall into those insecurity fucking downward spirals where you feel like you have to do all this shit to prove to yourself that you're not whatever the insecurity is revolving around. You know, you can just be like, you can just let it go and be like, whatever, I'll just love myself anyway. Whatever, I'll just feel good anyway. And you just go back to feeling secure and not needing a plan or a strategy or needing all these fucking 50 steps in advance so you know what you're doing, so you don't have to feel fucking worried about it. Like, no, worry about shit. Like, have doubt. It doesn't fucking matter if you feel those things. You're going to be, you know what I always, the way where my confidence comes from? My confidence comes from knowing that I can go into a situation where I have no idea what the fuck I'm going to do or how the fuck it's going to turn out. And I just go into it anyway, because I know I'm going to be able to figure it out while it's happening. When I'm feeling insecure, I can't do that. When I'm feeling insecure, that's when I get performance or approach anxiety. That's when I feel like I need more pickup material, because it's like, oh, I'm not going to know. What if I don't know what to do? And it prevents me from just like, fuck it. I don't give a fuck if I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll figure it out while it's happening. And let's say I don't figure it out, I'm just going to fail. I don't give a fuck, because I'll still feel good whether I fucking get it or I don't get it, because it's not about fucking not looking stupid and not failing. I don't give a fuck if I fail, because if I give a fuck if I fail, that's coming from a place of insecurity. A secure person, an alpha person, if, as you want to say it, a confident person goes into a situation and doesn't need to know fucking anything about it. All they need All I need when I go into a situation is know that it's interesting to me, I'm curious about it, and it's what I want to do. If those three things line up, I'm fucking going in, you know? As long as it makes sense and everything, but that's it. I think it ends here. Yeah.
With, because again, insecurity is not healed through reassurance. It's healed internally. Like you have to plug the hole, and that has to be plugged. It's an inner hole. It has to be plugged on the inside.
Yep. So that'll be it for me reacting to fucking Orion. Pay attention to what he said there at the end, where your insecurities are not going to be healed from the outside. That hole is the insecurity is that hole that he's talking about. That hole is not going to be plugged from the outside. It's going to be plugged from the fucking inside because it's an internal leak. Okay. And only you know where that leak is. Only you can see it, and you can't see it. Only you can feel where it is. Okay. And the first and foremost, most important thing is that you're honest with yourself that you are being insecure. Another symptom of, and a classic symptom of being insecure is you're going to project it onto other people and criticize other people for being insecure. And then when you're not having moments of insecurity, you're going to look down on those people and call them losers and think you're better than them. If you're walking around thinking you're better than people, that's coming from a place of insecurity. If you're walking around talking shit about simps and incels and cucks and shit like that, like genuinely talking shit about them, because I sometimes make fun of them because I just think it's funny. But I honestly wish them the best. I hope they get through their things. I hope they get whatever they want, whatever. I don't really give a fuck. I actually wish them no harm. If I'm actually out there trying to dunk on them and be like, that's right, I'm not an incel, I'm not a cuck, I'm not a simp, I'm better than that, I'm better than them. That's a projection. That's coming from insecurity, where I'm attacking in them what I'm scared of the most in myself and not admitting to myself. I need to forgive them before I can forgive myself. So if you're out there projecting equally with the pickup stuff, if you feel like you need all this pickup stuff, you need to let that go so you can let go of the insecurity within yourself. And if you cannot let go of the pickup, you'll never be able to let go of the insecurity. You have to like see it how it's manifesting outside of you externally and forgive it and let it go. And then that'll allow you to turn inwardly and forgive it and let it go within yourself. So I would say, Mark, you were asking me about game. Get used to just talking to girls, having nothing ready and having nothing in your mind and just saying whatever you're feeling. The only thing I want to warn you against is not being an asshole, you know? Actually care about how you're making the girls feel. So be yourself and don't be a creep. That's it. That's all of pickup summed up, everything you need to get started. Be yourself and don't be a creep. Yeah, man. And I mean, once you got those be yourself and don't be a creep stuff down and you're not planning stuff in your head, go where the girls are. You know, go where the single girls hang out. Go out to the bars, go to the social park downtown, and just go out and have fun. Get used to having fun by yourself too. Do not need the girls to have fun. Do not need the girls so you can have a good night. Be able to have a I recommend go out and have a few nights by yourself where you just go out and do something by yourself and that's enough. And when you're able to go out and have fun on your own, then start incorporating like trying to pull girls into your party. Or maybe, you know, talking to girls is part of you having fun, but you don't need the girls to like you or validate you in any way. You just talk with the girls because, you know, they're hot and they turn you on and they're pretty and you want to talk to them because of that. But if the girl isn't into you, you can just be like, all right, whatever. You can go back to having fun by yourself. Like, be yourself, feel good being yourself, and don't be a creep. Like, be considerate of how you're making the girls feel. That's it, dude. That's it. And then let them game you. I recommend watching my stream called Master Class. So if you go into my videos, my live streams, you'll see under one of them, it's called How to Get Girls to Game You Master Class. I talk about that for 4 hours about how girl game works. So it also helps if you understand like how the girls are gaming you. So you can just walk up to the girl, have fun with her, and then when she starts gaming you, you can just like have fun with that, you know, and you can like laugh at her and crack jokes and you can have fun. And then also get good at screening out insecure girls. Like if girls are out there shit testing you constantly or trying to sabotage you to see how you react, get rid of that girl. Walk away from her, you know, she's toxic. And yeah, be able to walk away from girls and be able to feel fine if a girl walks away from you and let her walk away. Sometimes also girls are just not a match, man. And you'll meet a girl, she's pretty and everything, and you're talking with her, but you could tell that you guys just aren't matching. Be able to let her go, you know? And then another thing too, when you're out there being social, the sets maybe last like 5-10 minutes, bro. I mean, once in a while you'll meet a pretty good set and you'll stay in set with the girl for like all night. That happens to me sometimes where the girl won't leave you alone and you like her too. So that'll happen too. But most of the time, most sets, you walk up to the girl, you have a good interaction with her. You're like, hey, all right, good to meet. Like, it'll end. You can tell that it's over. You guys meeting is over, and you'll be like, all right, let me get your number. Maybe I'll see what you're doing later tonight, or maybe I'll hit you up when I leave. I'm gonna keep walking around talking to more people and like leave the set. You don't have to stay in set all night. Like you'll be able to feel when like the set is over and it's time to move. Try to get the number and then go on and talk to somebody else or just go be by yourself. Like you don't have to stand there trying to make the set keep going. Like if at any point you feel like you're doing work and you're like, oh, I got to think of something else to say now. What else am I going to say now? And you're trying to make it work. You're doing too much. Like get the fuck out of there. Like the set is over. If she had fun, you had fun, get her number, move on, talk to somebody else. And like I said, once in a while you'll meet a girl where she'll be following you around all night, Like I don't really try to pull girls that often. Not to say that I have a problem with it, but most of the time what happens is the girl is like following you around and like you can't get rid of her and shit. But you won't be able to understand that until you understand how girl game works. So I recommend to you, Mark, go watch that master class 4-hour stream I did, I think like a week ago. Okay, man. I don't know when I'm going to be back on here, guys. I think I'm going to check out that Healthy Gamer Pickup Artist stream. And if I find, yeah, there was this guy here. I'll share him with you. That the guys were telling me about yesterday. He was saying similar stuff to what I say, but he has like a whole fucking like product, and he has a whole. Maybe you'll like him. I haven't actually looked into any of his shit, but he sounds like he's similar to me. I don't think he's like me because he still has like flash game in a sense, but he's like a different version of me. So maybe look into him. But yeah, check out that master class, man. And I appreciate the compliment, bro. Yeah, like do not get wrapped up in pickup, man. That's like a insecure man's fucking nightmare that you're gonna be fucking falling into. And then you're gonna think you need more, and it's just gonna make you even more insecure, and it's gonna make you think like you'll never meet a girl, and it's gonna make you feel like less of enough, and it's just gonna turn into this humongous disaster, But as I'm saying, guys, I guess I'll check out that Healthy Gamer GG Pickup Artist fucking podcast he did, and if I see some good shit on there, maybe I'll come on here tomorrow. But I don't know when I'm gonna come back on here. It's getting difficult for me to stay engaged because it's like my brain doesn't want me spending so much time on this because it's like I'm doing too much. You guys will see once you get out of this pickup bullshit, you'll see that how much like your brain is just not gonna want to do it anymore because you're like, I don't need it. What the fuck am I still like spending time on this shit for? Unless it's for entertainment, So I don't know. Maybe I'll come back. I don't know. I just really don't know when I'm going to be back on here, dudes. I will tell you, I'll come back on here once I go to Argentina, and I'll check in with you guys, and I'll be like, hey, I'm in Argentina, and fucking blah, blah, blah. Maybe I'll do some streams of me walking through town, picking up on girls, but I don't really, that's super creepy, dude. Like undercover recording your interactions. Like, I don't know. Maybe you guys can convince me to do it. I don't know. Persuade me to do it, but all right, dude. You guys have a good night. God love you guys. I wish you nothing but the best. I'll see you guys no later than February 24th, 25th, maybe a little sooner. Who knows? All right, guys. You guys take care.